If any part of the ordinance shall be held invalid, such part shall be deemed severable, and the invalidity thereof shall not affect the remaining parts of the ordinance. Section 4, emergency enactment and effective clause. The town council hereby declares that an emergency exists for the immediate taking effect of the provisions of this ordinance that shall become and remain in full force and effect immediately following its passage and adoption by the town council and as otherwise provided for by law. The terms of this ordinance are retroactive to October 1 of 2021. All of which is ordained, adopted, and enacted, and will fill in that date. Now that's the ordinance, and I don't have an ordinance number yet, so if Joan can assign that, that would be great.
You know the ordinance number, John? Okay, no, John doesn't have that on the course yet.
Okay.
All right, so do I have a motion to approve and accept the ordinance so far unnumbered, an ordinance providing for curbside leaf collection for the town of Michiana, Shores, Indiana, in 2021-22.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Mark?
I'll second.
Okay. Has moved. Michael Martinez has seconded. To approve. Please indicate your approval by indicating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. 5 ayes. The ayes have it. So this ordinance has been approved. Can we move on to approve this ordinance without a second reading?
Yes. Are you asking me? Yes.
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 Okay. So Joan is going to do a number, get a number for us.
Okay.
This is, it's the same ordinance that you've seen the documents for before, except that we did not read it at the previous meeting.
We already had the budget meeting.
Okay.
Is that what you're referring to?
We didn't read it in the budget meeting. No. Joan, I don't have one with me. But it would have been, you would have found a copy of it earlier already, I think, unless Joan forgot before. Probably. I don't have a fine version of it either. Okay. Somebody must have. All right, let me just take a look. Laura?
I just sent them again earlier asking for numbers just a few minutes, like 30 minutes ago, maybe.
Yes. Okay, that was too late. I was ready off my computer. Yeah.
Oh, I understand, Joan, but at least they're at the top of everybody's inbox. I just wanted to make them easily accessible.
Okay. Yep, there it is. Okay.
Made some adjustments to the settings, so speaker should work
Okay,
now.
so the ordinance that will be, what is the ordinance number, John? 2021-08. Laura, did you hear? 2021.
Yes, 2021-08, perfect.
Yes. For the lead pickup ordinance.
And that's the same number for the resolution, believe it or not.
Okay, 2021.
Okay, so the resolution is 2020.
Wait,
The resolution, sorry, it's 2021-07. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, I will, after we get done reading through the resolution, Ms. Dumbriez, I will go ahead and save these in PDF and number them and get them back to you immediately, okay?
Okay, thank you. Now, I think now before we move on to the resolution, we need to have a motion made by a town council member to approve without the second reading. Okay. Mike Lancioni has moved. I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Michael Martinez. Mike Lancioni has moved. Michael Martinez has seconded to approve the ordinance on the lead pickup 2021-08. First reading. Oh, well, without the second reading, right? Was this our second reading?
This would be your second reading.
Okay.
You want to eliminate?
We want to eliminate so we don't have to read it.
No, this, I don't think we read this before.
We
We
didn't,
have not.
no.
Which
No.
We're talking about the leaf pickup ordinance, not the resolution. So,
you just passed that
yes, so we
on
want,
first reading.
on first reading.
You want to pass it tonight on the second? reading.
Yes, we do.
So that's what you're voting on now.
Yes. But we can move to omit the second reading, correct?
No, that's not the way I understand it.
Okay.
This is voting.
You still have to do this.
So what we voted on to get this passed?
You can just vote to do the second reading tonight
All right.
and do the second reading by ordinance title only.
All right, there we go. That's what we needed in our motion. Okay. So Michael Lancioni moves to accept the ordinance on title reading only for the second reading. Yep, and Michael Martinez seconded this motion. Okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye, okay, so this ordinance has been approved on first and second reading and is now in effect and approved by the town council. Okay, thank you. Okay, Laura, let's move on to the resolution.
Perfect. Okay, resolution 2021-07, townwide curbside leaf and stick pickup. Whereas the town council of the town of Michiana Shores maintains ordinances and resolutions in its town municipal code, hereinafter referred to as the code, and is not a criminal code. And whereas in the interest of providing a healthy environment in the town of Michiana Shores and having adopted a ban on open burning, TC ordinance number 3162, including yard waste, the council finds it necessary to provide a townwide community curbside leaf and stick pickup service for 3 years, 2021 through 2024, to dispose of the abundance of leaves our area produces. And whereas it is unlawful to place collected leaves without an owner's permission on property not owned by the party removing leaves from their property, and whereas the cost of this service cannot be derived from the general fund of Michiana Shores, so it will be necessary to collect a user fee from each owner of improved property. Now therefore it is hereby ordained and enacted by the town council of the town of Michiana Shores, LaPorte County, Indiana, as follows. There is hereby established a townwide curbside leaf and stick collection user fee for dwelling units. The user fee is set in the amount of $130 each year for a 3-year period, 2021 through 2024, and said fee determined by dividing equally between the number of improved properties in Michiana Shores. Postage and administrative costs are included in the user fee. The townwide curbside leaf and stick collection user fee shall be billed and collected as part of the biannual refuse billing system of the town of Michiana Shores. Penalty. A penalty fee shall be assessed in the amount of 10% for late payments. Severability clause, if any section, clause, provision, or portion of this resolution is deemed to be invalid or unconstitutional by a court of competent jurisdiction, such provision shall not affect any other section, clause, provision, or portion of this ordinance. Emergency enactment and effective clause. The town council hereby declares an emergency exists for the immediate taking effect of the provisions set forth in the resolution, so that it shall become and remain in full force and effect immediately following its passage and adoption by the town council, the town of Michiana Shores, County of LaPorte, Indiana, or as thereafter as provided by law. Effective date, the terms of this resolution are retroactive to October 1, 2021. Approved and adopted by the town council on blank day of blank 2021 by a majority vote of the town council.
Laura?
Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'd like to get the title of that ordinance. I couldn't write it.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha. It's, yeah, townwide curbside leaf and stick pickup.
All right, so now I will ask for a motion to approve the resolution 2021-07, the townwide curbside leaf and stick pickup.
I'll make that motion.
Ralph Box has moved, Michael Martinez has seconded the approval of the townwide curbside leaf and stick pickup. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
I think it's a resolution, not an ordinance.
I'm sorry, did I say ordinance instead of resolution?
Yeah, and I think in that ordinance she, I mean, in the resolution she read, she's got ordinance for something, and I couldn't understand what that was for. Does anybody have a copy of it?
Wait, are you talking about the ordinance, the previous one we read?
No,
The
the
one right now?
resolution that she just read.
She was referencing the ordinances that we have that are against a burning of waste and
Oh, the
leaves and
ordinance,
things like
yeah,
that.
okay, I didn't catch
The
that.
ones that are,
Yes, maintains ordinances,
Okay.
resolutions in the town and municipal code, that's what.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys are gonna have an idea of that, so.
You know, that's fine.
how about mine?
You are. Let's
Okay,
get back to voting.
all right, so all in favor, and I think everybody indicated by aye already.
Let's go.
Okay, so I think so the ordinance has been approved, not ordinance, I'm sorry, the resolution 2021-07, the townwide curbside leave and store pickup has been approved. I believe that a resolution only needs one vote, am I correct?
Right.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. We will now move on to the salary ordinance. The salary, Laura, do you have that or?
I do. Yes, ma'am. Let me pull it up. I'm sorry. I'm in my PDFs here.
Brian, this will be the second reading of this ordinance.
For the salary ordinance,
No, you didn't read it.
I don't think that we read it at the
You didn't read
last.
it the last meeting. You did not.
No, we did not.
That was just,
We discussed it at 2 meetings.
Okay,
Yeah, we discussed it last month, and then it was discussed at the clerk's budget meeting, but this will be the first read. And Joan, as I understand it, we have a deadline of the end of December, so we can do second read on this in December's meeting, correct?
We can do it in December, and we could do it the last day of the month if you guys want to argue over it.
no,
Oh, no, we don't want that.
Okay.
we're good to go.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Town of Michiana Shores Ordinance Number 2021-06, a continuing ordinance to authorize compensation rates and salaries for the Town of Michiana Shores, Indiana for calendar year 2022. Whereas the Town Council of the Town of Michiana Shores, Indiana has continuously and previously established and provided compensation rates and salaries for employees and officials of the Town of Michiana Shores. Whereas the Town Council has previously approved enactments, resolutions, and ordinances for the purpose of providing compensation rates and salaries that have been continued and intended to be without expiration from year to year. And whereas a statutory deadline established by the state for towns to adopt a salary ordinance for 2022 is December 31, 2021, since the salary ordinance must be adopted in the year preceding its effectiveness. Whereas it is the intention of the Town Council to continue the compensation rates at the most recently enacted budget level into 2022 and beyond, or until modified or amended by official action of the Town Council. Now therefore it is hereby ordained and enacted by the Town Council of the Town of Michiana Shores, LaPorte County, Indiana as follows. The existing compensation rates and salaries for the employees, officials, and servants of the Town of Michiana Shores, LaPorte County, Indiana as follows. The existing compensation rates and salaries for the employees, officials, and servants of the Town of Michiana Shores shall continue at the most recently enacted budgeted amount, levels, and rates for the year 2022 and beyond, or until modified or amended by official action under law. 2022 budget rates, they include the following. Town Council President, $2,500. Town Council members, $2,000. Clerk Treasurer, $13,770. Clerk Treasurer Refuse, $750. Building Commissioner, $5,000. BZA Chair, $750. BZA Secretary, $12 per hour. Code Enforcement Officer / Building Commissioner, $25 per hour plus $45 per month cell phone. Road Commissioner, $750. Park and Recreation Chair, $750. Plan Commission Chair, $750. Plan Commission Secretary, $750. Road Maintenance, $25 per hour. Part-time office, $6,900. Refuse Clerk, $3,000. Repeal provision. All prior ordinances or resolutions or parts thereof inconsistent with any of the provisions of this ordinance are hereby repealed. Severability clause, if any section, clause, provision, or portion of this ordinance be deemed to be invalid or unconstitutional by a court of competent jurisdiction, such provision shall not affect any other section, clause, provision, or portion of this ordinance. Passed and adopted by a majority vote of the Town Council this blank day of December. And as everyone knows, a couple of these things are highlighted due to the discussions from the clerk's budget meeting.
Yes,
I make a motion to accept this as first reading of the budget. Salary.
okay, Ralph Box has moved to approve the salary orders, Ralph Box, right? And Mike Lancioni has seconded. Are there any comments or discussions on this?
I have none.
Okay, then if there are no other comments or inquiries with regards to discussions with regards to the salary ordinance, then I am going to call for a vote. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Rich, did you vote? You did? Okay, thank you. All right, aye, I said aye as well. So the salary ordinance has been approved on first reading. The second reading will then take place in December. Okay, so we are done with the ordinance section and resolution, so we'll move on to, I suggest at this point, that since we have a guest here, perhaps we can move on to 9A, the Holtz-Berlin 3803 Michiana Drive short-term rental permit. Do you agree? Are you amenable?
Yeah.
We move that
I'm
forward?
okay with
Okay. All right, has everybody had a chance to review the documents that Joan forwarded to all of us with regards to the short-term rental? Are there any questions? You know, Mike, most of all, since you reviewed this.
I looked all through it, everything was thorough, complete. Were there any questions? All good. I don't have any problem with it. I think all the inspection work and information was in there. So what you sent, Joan, was perfect. That was it. It's thorough, complete.
I agree.
Okay.
So I would go ahead and move that we approve it as submitted.
I'll second that.
Okay, Ralph Bach. Mike Lanciani has moved to accept the short-term rental permit application for the Holtz-Berlin.
That's an LLC.
Okay, you know, property.
It's an LLC, it's not.
Correct. Yeah.
North Star.
North Star Properties, thank you.
Okay,
That wasn't on here.
okay.
I need that. Thank you.
Right. Okay, all in favor indicate please by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye, the ayes have it, and the short-term rental permit has been approved.
Okay, now assuming that this was going to get approved, all I need is your two signatures on these two papers.
Okay.
I can give her a permit and her pass, I'll give the other one to Joan or that.
Okay.
Sounds great. Are you keeping one for your records?
The other one she's signing her pass.
That's for your records.
That's for your records.
You're keeping the records.
I'm not keeping any of it.
Sure.
You give one to her, I'll give the green permit to her. She gets. Yeah. Thanks for complete.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about, it's perfect.
No. I have desk over here, so I'm like,
Perfect.
I'm on it. Thank you guys.
Got it.
Thank you, okay. All right, so now we can move on to reports from committees, officers, clerk, treasurers. So, Joan, unless you're still writing something else, could you please proceed with your invoices and claims?
Well, we got a few of them tonight. We'll go back to the one for July 31st payroll. That's been discussed several times. I sent you some
Yes.
sketches as to how things work. The system is an accounting system that has been approved by State Board of Accounts Keystone is the one that has designed it, the State Board of Accounts has approved the system.
Okay. So where do you want to see you, please
Do you
start
want
off
us
with
to
your-
read it, or do you want me to go ahead? We've read it once, I think. Okay, accounts payable register. It was payroll for Deb Chow, cell phone $45. Payroll, code enforcement / assistant building commissioner. The gross wage was $2,075. The net wage, which she gets paid, is $1,706.88. The employer has a liability for Medicare of $30.74 and a FICA of $131.44. When you add all those together, it's $3,989.06. If you will notice where it says net wages, that is coming out of the payroll fund. It has an 806, that denotes payroll. The other four go into the budget. This is that entry to put it in the system.
Okay. Doug, can we ask for approval on this? All right, does anybody else have any more questions? I know that we've talked about this and after rearranging my limited debiting and crediting with regards to accounting systems, okay? I understand how this is coming out visually, because I know Rich raised the question, Rich is looking. It looks that it is something off, but it is actually, you know, we can talk about it after the meeting is over, and it's actually very clear. It isn't coming out as a double, you know, withdrawal from anywhere. It's coming out only as a single, and one of them is the moving of money from one account to another in order to account for this paying. So this is the way Joan has been reporting it on the accounts. I think that it was, yeah, I understand, but I'm saying
That's an accounting principle. It's
Yes.
not my principle, it's not mine. We're double entry,
okay, and
not
not
single entry. If you had a single checkbook, you were writing everything in it, you wouldn't have to do this. We have one checkbook for technically two businesses, if you want to look at it that way. It's like you get a bill from a company that you've asked to do services for you. All you do is go to your checkbook and write it. When it comes to payroll, that has to be reported to the government, so they're keeping that separate. But it's basically the same thing. We're like submitting a bill to the budget area.
okay, so that makes, you know, sense, and if we can always discuss this even more and talk about it later, but I asked now for approval of this. I think it was, the reason this came up more is because this is one single item, whereas in the past, it's always been lumped together in larger amounts, so this just really brought it out, I think, to everybody to look at. So anyway, I am asking for a motion to accept, unless there are other questions still.
I'll second them.
Okay, so Mike Lancioni has moved to accept, Ralph Box seconds. Okay, and this is the,
This is
July 31st,
July
July 31st.
payroll,
okay,
accounts payable.
okay. Thank you very much. All right,
You gotta vote.
all right, all in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye, all are in favor, and this voucher has been approved, so we can move on to the next.
On the next one, we have the one for the payroll of September 30th, which included everybody that's on the payroll.
Okay, we don't need to reread through all of this, I don't think, because everybody has seen it. Have you read it? Or do you need to read through them again?
No,
To hear them all?
It's- But you end up with the same thing.
Yes.
You notice that you end up with a larger figure as a total, which is. No, you don't. This is different. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. These are payroll taxes.
Yes, okay.
So we have to pay,
Those are very straightforward, okay.
it's very straightforward. 2,000.
And the total is fine.
Oh, I put the wrong total in here. It's 2,361.77.
Okay, that's what
You
it
have that
says
at
on
the
my
bottom.
sheet. You do have that at the bottom of the sheet.
I know, but I don't have it on the master sheet, which you have
Oh, okay.
to sign.
All right, so, any questions with regards to the payroll taxes?
No.
Okay, then I need a motion to approve the payroll taxes.
Motion to approve payroll taxes.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay, Michael Martinez moves to accept payroll taxes, Ralph Fox seconds. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All right, the ayes have it, and this payroll taxes have
Okay,
been,
right, I forgot to say. All right, we'll be counting you to death to get these things.
okay?
Two more.
So do you want to move forward, Joellen, with the next
I can
one?
go ahead with the next one while
Yes,
you're
please.
signing it. And
Yes.
that is the payroll, that's the one I'm picking stuff with the taxes. This is the payroll for October, or September payroll.
What's the date? Joe?
September or October?
September.
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 Okay. Okay, because it says,
It says October, but it is
Oh, okay.
September.
okay.
It is September. It changed. Change that. No, wait a minute, don't change that. It is the right one. This is Deb's again, of course, October. So don't change yours.
Okay.
It's the same thing. Telephone.
Yes.
The only thing changed is the amount, or $25 an hour changes your gross amount to $15.75.
Okay.
And then water taxes, and you end up with double, same thing as what we had before.
So this is the. All right, so we are now looking at the voucher for Deb's payroll. I need a motion to accept. Okay, Mike Lancioni moves. Michael Martinez seconds. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye, okay. All in favor, so that means I have approved. Rich, you did say aye, correct? Okay, thank you.
He's doing silent votes back there.
Yeah, I'm barely, I'm watching, okay. Okay, I'll have more on just a second. All right, then the next we move on to are the additional vouchers for October. At least that's the date of the next document that you had added.
October additional. Yeah, on those, I can read through those real quick.
Okay,
The bills that come in after the meeting. This is for NIPSCO, $56.71 for heat in the garage, electric $34.59, heat in the garage again. And for the street lights, $18.87. Telephone and fax, $146.67. Chase card services, there was a late fee for workforce development, $51.13. Postage, $95.94, and that was for the BZA hearings. General, there was another chase card before, $16.04 for the Adobe. And web domain, $14.99, and another one was a software. We are getting the Sonic, what they call Sonic Wave, for Sonic Wear for cybersecurity. I haven't had that installed yet. That was $1,049. Baker Tilly for accounting services up to October 21st. Budget support $7,699. That is mainly for budget services. Friedman Associates, legal services for Zemmy's $303.75. Correspondence and other services not within the retainer, $210. Retainer for October, $1,000, and $738 for a certified letter for a code enforcement non-certification for the citation for $10,704.64 total.
Are there any questions with the rest of these,
No.
vouchers? Okay, in that case, I ask for a motion to approve and accept.
Motion to approve and accept.
Thank you, Michael Martinez, so moved to accept. I need a second.
Second.
Okay, Ralph Box seconds. And so it has been moved to accept the additional vouchers for October 29th. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, okay. Okay, these vouchers have been approved. Okay, and then we move to the last document whenever Joan is ready, and that is the,
I'm ready.
okay, November 9th vouchers.
Michiana Shores Volunteer Fire Department, $105 for rental of the hall and building. For fire protection, $3,575.08. Town of Long Beach for police protection, $4,877. Republic Services for refuse pickup, $3,888. Doing repair for repairs to the truck, to the dump truck, $3,515.70. U.S. Postal Service, $174 for the pickup notices and general mail. For Department of Water Works, intake part, $9.49. For the garage, $9.49. Brenda Heckman, travel to the bank and the post office, $41.76. CNA Surety for our bonds, for the clerk treasurer, $235. For Brenda, $100. Office supplies, $155.99. Comcast for internet, $79.69. Friedman and Associates Legal, somehow or another their September billing got caught up in the emails and got missed. $1,297.50 for Sally's lawsuit, and legal services for regular emails and correspondence, whatever, $255. Legal for the retainer, $1,000. For the Port Herald Dispatch, $45.91, and that was for advertising for the additional appropriations. And, excuse me, advertising for the STR for down $145.95. And advertising for the Sherman, the last two are STRs, $155.35. Don't drop your T, it's $19,665.91. We have spent a lot of money last couple of months here.
Well, I'm just curious, with one of these payments and treatments, that it has Purse's name on it. What was that?
Mr. Purse has been, complaining about the shed that was built, at the corner of Portal and Hiawatha at Sally Petro's home. Ms. Petro followed exactly what she was supposed to do. She checked on what she should do. She filled out the permit application. She even, after discussions, I think that initiated here with Joan, reached out to the DNR because her home is located in the floodway. The DNR sent their approval, that it was fine to, you know, put that up in that particular spot. Steve Thomas was the building commissioner at the time, and he signed that particular permit. And at that time, the old accessory structures ordinance was in place, where it was not completely clear that it was, you know, what the actual setback should be, because according to the old study, if you remember, it said that it was 10 feet for the primary residence, and then a lot of assumptions were made that it's for everything else as well. And then at the plan commission meeting, there were, you know, they put through a new ordinance and amendment, which actually sets those kind of buildings 5 feet from setbacks, from the side and back setbacks. And so that, you know, people are left with a bit of a bigger yard. So anyway, her permit was granted perfectly legally, but Mr. Bruce is still arguing it. And he got his lawyer involved, and he was sending letters back and forth to Lord, you know, with regards to this issue, so.
Okay, are you sure?
Yes.
Is that okay? I do have a bill also, but it came in too late for me to process it. It's from Sandcastle Landscaping, doing the mowing and finishing up in the parks, $660. That is agreement he has with the park department. Then he turned in his completion of the cleanup on the creek, $4,750. And then there was a lot of extra work. I don't know if anyone's aware of how many trees have come
More
down
trees
this
have come down.
last month. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think,
6 more?
6 more plus the ones we had.
Yeah. And I'm not including the ones that were there from earlier, but 6 more came out, right?
I tried to list them up.
Okay.
You have it here.
It's,
It's
There was a new one almost every couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
everything I walked the creek today, from Orno all the way to the Arbutus Road there. I cleaned everything out. Nothing. Well, at noon, there was nothing there.
Good.
That sounds good.
That sounds good.
Well, I'll finish this then. Removal of large cherry tree, $500. There was 3 large trees that fell into the creek. And there was a dead ash, a maple, and it came to. You had a dead cherry tree and another one that came down, right? Nick, that's $1,800. And then cleanup work late summer for Rich, you know, clean up around the bench area where the tree fell and broke on the bench. And cut up the debris into the woods and several other small ones, $200, which came up to $7,250. Okay, go approve that, I can add
Can
that.
we add this to this? Oh, that would be just a separate approval?
No,
Or do you want to include it on
well, it's included on
this last one?
this last one,
All right.
Okay.
and I'll just
All
add.
right, okay, so then,
for it.
all right, very good. Okay, so then I need a motion to approve these last vouchers.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Rob Fox moves to accept. Michael Martinez seconds. And these are the vouchers for, it says November, correct?
For November, yeah,
Okay.
and including the 1%.
Yeah, so I'll get that.
I'll get that.
Yes, okay, thank you very much. Okay, and so all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it, and payment of vouchers has been approved.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Remember I pointed out that other tree farther down past our roots? It was, well, it was right there, You did that? Yes. What about that bigger branch farther down? It's on the bank, but it's, you know, it's not hanging. I'll have to take a look at that, I didn't go. But you did get the other one to the story? From what you just described, all the way up to L4. Nothing more.
Great, thank you.
All everything off. But we, got some, put the fences back up and recreated the trail. So, good job.
Yeah,
That's what else there is to do.
okay. Thank you, because it looked like a great job, thank you.
But I believe there still is that big branch on the north side of the new path.
I'll have to go walking down.
It's not a lot of it. The other one would have been a lot of it.
All right,
So one of the other ones, you know, right where that big maple came down on the new path there, and it has like a sister, with the trunk, you know, it's going the other way now, I can see that one going.
Oh, there's a bunch of them I've been
I
finding.
mean, it's,
all right.
it's very clear out there.
Thank you. You know that we can continue those kind of discussions for later. Let's move on with our meeting, okay? Thank you very much, Rich, for handling that for us, and thank you, Mayor, for getting it done. Okay, Joan, is there anything on the use of the ARP funds right now?
Oh, that's right, you voted on that one, so I just need to say.
I would,
Do we need to sign the last one?
No, I sent that around so that you just, so
It's
you
included.
can see what Max
Joan,
was.
like,
so
yes.
Dinah, I would propose that we continue the discussion on ARPA funds unless there's something we need to do now.
No, we have a lot of time,
things
we have a lot of
left on the
time yet. The next
Okay.
report that we would have to file is in the late winter, early spring.
Right, but if we're going to spend any money, we need a quick resolution as to what we are spending it on. And also our notation as to how it relates to the
Mhm.
COVID.
Right.
Right.
Okay, and if every time you spend money, you do that little resolution, I can send that in as proof that it's been approved by the council.
Okay, so,
So that, because when I send in that report, they're not just gonna let me take and write, yeah, we'll give this, and this. Yeah, it don't work that way.
okay, so now,
They
may,
don't save any trees in the
Okay.
forest when you deal with the government.
may I ask this kind of a question, that if we are going to be putting together, because we don't have anything, we haven't spent anything yet, so that if we put together a resolution that may list several things on it at once, would make it a little more efficient for us,
You can do that,
okay?
you can do that, and as you're spending it, then, because I have to keep separate records of that,
Sure.
everything that goes in.
Yes, obviously, but then we have time still even to get that done, because we're not spending anything yet. We haven't made any final
Well,
decisions on
the
anything,
funds
right?
that Joan spent to update her computers.
Oh, yeah, those are part of them, yeah.
Right, we just need to keep that list and then
Yeah, and then we'll
maybe
put them all together.
quarterly, we provide an update to the government. Is that what you're thinking, Joan?
Well, you can do it that way, if you want to, if you're going to spend it.
Mhm.
Because when I do that report, they're gonna ask what we spent and what we still have. So it's easier for me if you just show what you're gonna spend money on, like you want these sideboards. Okay, put that in the resolution, the cybersecurity, and whatever that we're going to be spending money on now. As we go along, you can keep your list, we basically have a general list.
Yeah, we have a starting
in the
list.
ordinance.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you.
Okay, so
Okay,
let's,
so we can move down here for further discussion, okay? So we will table, I am going to table the discussions, you know, further things on the ARPA until next month. So let us move on
No,
to,
I got one more thing.
oh, you,
Roger Protras has asked for a copy of the recording
I sent
of the
him,
plan commission meeting of October 2nd, was it?
yes, and I sent Mr. Portrat's, the link, and he said he no longer needs it.
Okay.
yeah, he got
So we're good.
through
He
this.
got it, everything is through, he got approved, and he says he no longer needs it, he doesn't care. So,
Send me that email or
Sure.
whatever conversation you have so I can put it in the file because I
Yes.
have an open record request.
very good. Will do, sign John. Okay, let's move on to departmental reports. Chief Swistek?
Good evening, everyone.
You're doing
In reference to the three communities that the Long Beach Police Department serves for the month of October, we responded to 149 calls for service when compared to 144 in the previous year, for a slight increase of 5 calls for service. We took 4 incident reports for the month, resulting in 4 arrests. 2 of the arrests were traffic-related offenses. 1 was an OWI misdemeanor arrest. And then I want to note, two of the other arrests were for a vehicle that Deputy Jason Yagelski observed on Highway 12 traveling westbound. He eventually got the vehicle stopped on Carwick Road, and two female occupants were arrested for felony drug possession, having over 15 grams of heroin and 15 grams of methamphetamine in the car. It was a substantial arrest, and I want to commend him for the excellent job on that particular arrest. Additionally, we patrolled 230 miles, 51 hours of patrol presence. This past Sunday, November 7th, there was a little bit of excitement. It started on Old Grand Beach Road, then traveled on to El Portal, actually went through the street commissioner's yard, and eventually we arrested the young man at Stop 50 Pizza. He went in there about 4:50 in the afternoon, tried to elude the police, and Deputy Mitchell Seitz from the Long Beach Police Department and Officer Cody Washleski from the Michigan City Police Department located the young man. He was a 19-year-old male, was charged with 3 felony counts of armed robbery and 1 count of felony possession of a firearm and pointing a firearm. These were all warrants out of the city of Michigan City. So if anybody inquires, that was where all the excitement was this past Sunday. So they did an excellent job locating them and taking them into custody without any incident. Aside from that, overall, it was a fairly quiet month. We had 3 traffic stops in the town of Michiana Shores, resulting in 1 citation and 1 written warning. And if anybody has any questions, also, Diana, I may be falling off here in about 30, 40 minutes. I've been working on my laptop quite a bit tonight, and I forgot to bring my charger home, so my battery's on its last leg.
Okay, well, thank you very much for participating and for your report, okay? And we're all glad to hear that things are relatively quiet, even though we have excitement. Okay, thank you. All right, next, Mick, do you happen to have the fire report?
No.
Okay, you do?
I read through it.
Yeah, I did forward it to everybody, so just in case. You have anything particular to add, to say, Mick, or no?
The pancake breakfast was probably one of the biggest ones we ever had. It was well attended. Everybody was very happy with things. So, the fire department thanks the participants in the events for coming and appreciate their contribution.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Otherwise, everybody, you should have received the report. I forwarded them to everybody. Okay, so let's move on to the next, and that would be, so we've got, Dolly, she didn't have anything.
There was no meeting, she didn't have anything, she thought maybe Rich had something. Did you have something to add to this?
Well, I think I report that we did pour the concrete for 2 of the
Right,
benches.
you had that last.
That was earlier.
But the bench that was uprooted by a tree on the old path was reinstalled by Ralph and Joe.
Yeah, we went out there a week ago, dug it up with the concrete footings and cleaned out the holes, put it back in, reset everything. A couple of boards are broke, but they're that plastic composite stuff. And I haven't been able to find any in town. I just think they're in short supply like everything else. So it's functional. We'll put some grass seed down this month and it's back to normal.
All right, okay, thanks. Okay, good report. Now, Bob, are you on?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay. For the month of October, we worked 31 hours. A lot of the time took unskidding all the park department stuff that was put in the garage, and that's all stacked up on the side out of the way. We had trees down on Oakdale, El Portal, and Shadow. Signs, all I have for the equipment I have is up. And that's about it for the month. I sent Joan a list of the equipment that I needed ordered, and I think the total,
$391.99.
yeah.
Hey, but Bob, I didn't see, I saw out of the request, you said that this truck needs to be serviced for the winter. Did you have a price on that?
No, I'm still waiting for him to, it's just an oil change and filters, so it can't be that much. The pump, we had to get a new one. We found one in California. More due to the weather conditions and the weather report, we're getting FedEx here hopefully in the next couple of days, so we can get that going.
All right, thank you.
Also, I wanted to thank the council for the pay increase. And I would like to request, years ago, we used to have a charge card for Lowe's. I had to go make a couple purchases and use my debit card, and I guess they wouldn't, I didn't have any ID or anything to show them, or I didn't have the tax exempt certificate or whatever it is. So they charged tax, and Joan won't pay me the full amount that I was put on my charge.
Can't do that, SBO,
Okay, then,
you've been with us long enough that you know. when-
Well, I know we need to get a credit card so we don't have this problem anymore.
Yeah, so how much was it, Bob, the tax on these items that you purchased?
I don't have the receipts, I turned them in.
But we're not talking $100, are we? We're talking,
No, the battery wound up being $116, I think it was, and the light bulbs were.
I think it's a good point. I'm not really sure what's been done in the past, but we shouldn't put Bob in that position in the future. I don't have.
Well, not in the future, because I've already told him to contact me. I can give him, he can come in anytime he wants to, and I'll give him that certificate.
Okay.
He can carry it in his wallet. I can shrink it down. Then he
I
can-
still have to take the money out of my account and use my money. I don't want to do that.
I don't want you using it, but the charge card, if you want a charge card, it's going to be in your town of Michiana Shores, and you have to sign for it, and you're responsible for it. I'm not giving anybody a charge card that I'm responsible for,
Okay,
because there's one.
understood.
So if you want.
I also would request a limit of no more than, say, $250 that I can charge on that card.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable, but I'm not sure how we make that happen. I agree with Joe as well.
I'm not giving anybody.
Well, I mean, most companies do that. They make you responsible for the charges on their corporate credit card.
Right.
And because you could have used it, and the company should have used it.
So he has to apply for it in the name of the town of Michiana Shores, with him being the responsible person. If he wants a Lowe's card, he goes out there, gets the application. It's gonna be in the town of Michiana Shores name, and he's the one that's gonna be listed as responsible, not me.
Yeah.
You hear that, Bob?
Yep,
okay, so get it started.
got it.
Probably have one there already.
Joan, did you order them parts for the signs?
I asked you to come in and look at the signs and see, if you still want the ones that cost more money, the ones that, I don't know, they got more fringe stuff on it or what?
It's because of the signs that we currently use. They're bladed signs. That's why I need them brackets. I sent you the part numbers and the cost.
I got them.
Okay,
So how many do you actually need? You told me 8 or 10, now what do I get?
I said a dozen.
Now it's a dozen. That's more than what your note was, okay?
Wait a minute.
No, it's not. I requested 12 of them. 12 each.
What?
You should see, there's a wall up and down. High Street,
what kind of
Which
signs?
ones are you talking about?
those solar blinking stop
Well,
signs.
those cost a lot.
Yeah, cheap labels, those are like 10, 12
Michigan
grand.
City told me each one is like $12,000.
Yeah, when I-
$12,000, $1,200 or something like that for one.
Yeah.
Well, we're not talking blinking
No.
signs.
No,
No,
They're
no.
$1,800.
It's
18
a little bit
Okay.
fancier, and I guess he wants it to fit in with the neighborhood so that they all look the same.
Works for me.
yeah, okay.
Even though it costs more money, you guys are for it.
All right, so you are going to make sure that Joan has all the numbers and Joan will be able to order those, correct, Joan?
When he said he had a dozen of each order, what's the other each? I don't know what he's talking about.
The signs take 2 brackets on each post. One goes on the sign, the other one goes on top of the sign to connect the other sign. They're 2
Okay.
separate brackets.
So 24 brackets and 12 signs.
Yes,
Okay.
plus the stop signs.
Yes.
But I think she was ordering them from Penn.
Yeah, I was ordering them, but that's when you decided to one of the other ones, no matter what they cost.
I never said that, Joan. I never said that.
No, I asked you to come in and let me know, and you never did. I'll change my wording.
I sent you the part numbers and the information. I don't know what more I need
Yeah,
to do.
I got the bracket numbers, but I sent an email back to you asking you to come in.
Okay, Bob, if you
You
can,
have all
please.
the information you need.
No, do you have it or not, Joan?
I'm flat. I got it written down because what I have is 8 to 10. Brendan was with me when he came in the office and said, what do you want?
Okay, but
And
Joan,
that's what
do you
I-
have the number of the items right now? Do you have the
Yes,
item number?
I have them.
Okay, and now you know how many to order, so okay.
So we can go.
Can I just go ahead and order them myself?
If you use a purchase order, I gave you a purchase order on the truck and you never used it.
I haven't got the bill for the new part of the truck yet.
No, for the old part, the 3,000 and something I had on the bill tonight.
Okay, so then pick up a purchase order from Joan, Bob, and get it taken care of, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay. Any other questions of Bob, or we can move on?
Move on.
All right, so, Plan Commission, Ralph, is there any kind of a report?
No, we approved 2 projects, one at 12 Powhatan and the other one at 3841 Oakdale. The one on Oakdale was approved, but there was a caveat based on the fact that they're adding another garage door, which is outside of the rules of the ordinance. So they're going to take that topic to the BZA for further consideration.
Okay, thank you very much. There was no report from the BZA because I believe there was no October meeting for the BZA. Deb, Chuck, do you have some kind of a report for us, please?
Yeah, so, like you said, there was no BZA meeting, so there were no STR requests for special use in October. We had one set for the next BZA meeting, 211 Copagan as a STR request for special use from BZA that's coming up. So after tonight, I think we have 12 approved STRs now, and there are a couple of more in the works that will, possibly be going in the final of the month. We are working on an ordinance, we're and I, so we're going to have options. We were working on an ordinance for the collection of fines, because that's kind of unknown, we're issuing fines, and with that ability of policy and an ordinance to govern collections. So, okay, so we're working on that. Then otherwise, just working with people interested in building projects, working with the planning commission to develop hopefully more concrete threshold of what proposals have to go to the planning commission and one which can be approved just by me looking at them.
Okay.
Do you have a written report that I can put on file in case somebody asks to see it?
Can you, in the future, just a short,
Okay,
thank you.
please do that.
We get them like from the buyer from the,
Well, when people ask about it.
and stuff sometimes,
I
yeah.
have it for Rick.
Okay, yes. Okay, thank you. I used to write up the plan commission ones. There's always a number and stuff like that. I passed over to Rich in the past. Okay, anyway,
I have a question.
yes.
You just said there's 12 approved, like, is that right?
Short-term rentals.
Yeah, there were 13, one dropped out.
And they have to renew each year,
They have, except for one was in October.
I have to, no, I'm not gonna
Unique
get
doc,
up and
I
see.
think it was, I forget it.
So Willie's renewed and Ralph renewed, so yeah, we'll definitely see.
But they're all.
But my question is, because I remember before, when we were passing the ordinance, there was a discussion of limiting how many this town would accept. Is that factoring?
Well, there we go, that's complicated, and legally complicated to do, so we dropped it, basically, dropped it, and that was what we had to do.
Well, what I would say, Rich, is that we are in the middle of updating the comprehensive plan for the town, the 5-year thing. And one of the ideas that I have is to propose that we put something in the comprehensive plan along that line. I can't define it any more than that, because that's the starting place to maybe update the ordinance or write a separate ordinance, providing further controls on what you're talking about. But as Mike said, it's not as simple and easy as we would all hope. But yes, it's not a dead topic, but I don't have an answer for you right now.
I hope we get it done before they're all on the Springfield side of town. Which is all 4 years.
Well, I've had ordinance for 2 years and we'll have them yet.
Okay, well, I thank you for that, for the question and then, for the explanation here. So we, is Samantha online? I don't have anything for us from the drainage.
Samantha, if you unmute, could you give us an update?
With the issue, I'd like to point out one issue that I saw down there.
Oh, okay, just, hold on. We just asked Samantha to speak, so Ralph just asked Samantha to hold on a minute. Is she not responding? Okay, all right, go ahead, Nick. Can you stand up so we can hear you?
On the high Malta, on the inside turn, it's getting washed out a little bad. There's only about 15 feet until it hits the road.
Uh-huh,
It needs to be armored.
okay,
There's a little curve in the creek there, and a couple of trees fell right in
but
that curve.
is that in the ditches, drainage
It's on our
board?
side.
It's on our side, not the drainage board.
Yeah, it's on our side, but
Okay,
we're gonna have to start probably talking to Earl Wallace and have the engineer, some stone put in there to, as the creek, there's a kind of small bend there.
okay,
And with
yeah,
tide, it's really ripping out there, and that undermined a lot of those trees that fell in.
okay,
So I have asked the previous board to look into it, but it's slowly getting, you step off, it's really getting, it's only 15 foot to the road, so.
right, okay.
Something has to be done quick.
Okay, thanks for bringing that up. Okay, thank you. All right. Did Samantha respond?
No.
Okay, well then we're gonna move on to the next one. Unfinished business, okay. I still included the renewal process of STR permits because I don't think we ever voted on actually how the renewal process is supposed to be taking place. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that we ever made a final determination on it.
We went over it last time.
I think we went over,
Well,
but
a
I don't
couple of
think there
months
was any
ago,
like
we talked about it.
We
and
talked.
My concern in looking at my notes was that basically it appeared to me they were going to come back to the town council and we would reapprove them. And I would be against that. My proposal would be that that you would approve them, Deb, if they haven't made any changes that would affect the approval process. Most of them will fall under that category. So we don't have to fool around with it. It doesn't make any sense to drag it to us if there's nothing changed. If something changes, then that's a different discussion. But Mike, I didn't have a chance to talk to you about this before.
So you're making a suggestion
Basically,
A proposal that
okay,
if they haven't made any changes to the property that would affect their approval, there's no reason for it to come back to the town council that Deb could approve. But does that sound reasonable?
That's to me.
okay, well then, let somebody make a motion so that, we actually set this as, just a procedure for practice. We don't need ordinances for this, but you know what kind of practice we want to follow, so you want to set it up as a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to allow our building commissioner, code enforcement officer, to renew SDR permits as long as there's no changes to the property that would affect their permit.
Okay. I hate to burst your bubble, but I think it would be best to put something that in depth in a resolution. It only requires one reading and it got it down. Okay, that's something we could look at, so we can leave that off until the next month. We don't have. You can vote on it, you can do the resolution afterwards, but you're still going to have to do a resolution to keep it. Make it a real rule for us. Right, so it'll be a real rule.
So we can vote on it
You can vote
now,
on
so
it
that
today,
Deb
then put
has
together.
the understanding of what
And then we create.
expect to do.
And what happens if they don't get back? You're just going to automatically assume that someone's renewing it?
No, if they don't apply for a renewal,
It expires.
it expires. I mean, it's clear in the ordinance. I applied months, I went through this
Yeah.
months before mine ran out because I didn't want to cross that barrier. And I think that's the way it's written and that's what you should do.
And Ralph, quick question, if she's gonna, take over this specific type of renewal, she's gonna do some type of verification before she does signs off on it?
Well, it's my assumption that that would be a part of the discussion. But, we're not going to go check it out.
Well, you can line it
Yeah,
up
yeah.
in
Go ahead.
resolution.
Do you have a question? Go ahead.
So, yeah, just, so I haven't been the one to issue the actual permit, the paper permit. So would I do that as well, or do I go to and say, yes?
No, you still got your green thing, but keep it on there.
They just keep it in there? Oh, so does that the expiration date?
It does not have an expiration date.
Okay,
Mike did a good job.
okay, and I just submit some kind of note to Jennifer.
What's
Just
the
to
town
keep a
council,
record,
you know,
yes.
when you report?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Does that sound okay, Deb?
Yeah, and you can keep your running record of who has it. Okay, so, let's vote then that we're going to put something like that together, okay? So Ralph has made his motion.
I'll second.
I wrote that down. Okay, so this is Ralph Fox and Michael Martinez has seconded. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Hi.
Aye. Okay, the ayes have it. This has been approved. The process for STR renewal. Okay, thank you very much. And transferability, I think, is actually, was easy. I think that we already said that if it cannot happen.
Yep.
So I don't know that perhaps we need to also include that in some kind of a resolution or something that, if we're gonna make it official. If you can't pass it. Do we have anything like that on paper anywhere? We've discussed it, but I don't think we,
Kind of explicit in the ordinance, but it's
does it actually say that in the ordinance that you can't transfer this to anyone?
Well, I mean, it's
I can't
obvious,
remember.
you have to apply for a merchant certificate.
Yeah,
A merchant certificate is only issued to an
To
individual
that one
or
person.
to an entity like
okay,
the woman that we just approved,
Right.
it's North Star Properties. That's who the merchant certificate is with. If someone that wants to redo it, it would either be with a new individual or a new entity. So
Okay.
you can't do it.
okay.
So it's just kind of intuitive
Mhm.
that you can't do
Well,
that
okay.
because of that merchant certificate.
All right, we'll take a look at that, because,
So, but
what's
the question I
intuitive.
have, just to
Uh-huh.
clarify, is whether they have to go back to the BZA and start the entire process over or not.
I think we've started talking about that before, because it's a new person.
Because what Mike just described could be presenting again to the town council. We got all this, we've got a new merchant certificate. And I do remember, and I didn't go back and dig around, but I think in the previous discussion on this, Laura had come up with the concept that the property was already approved. The issue is the owners need to be reapproved, would be what we do. The BZA is approving the property. I just want to clarify now what we're doing.
Okay, so then that means that they do not need to reapply for a variance to use the property that way?
For special use.
For special use, they don't need to apply for a special use permit. However, they have to start an entirely new application for short-term rental.
I would agree with that.
Correct?
Okay, I agree with it too, but I just want to be clear about it so we didn't put that.
Assuming that they aren't doing anything different relative to the zoning that the original zoning variance was granted for. So if there's any modification or anything that was different, then goes all the way back.
I agree.
But it would only fall back to.
Okay, so
To Joan's point, that's the kind of thing that we should write down and make sure we're comfortable with the language
You probably could put that all on a resolution.
together.
Just put it all on
in one,
Yes, you don't, I mean,
it makes
the
sense.
transferability and what they have to do with it.
Then the renewal.
Then the renewal, they have to renew once a year.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
The
Okay, we'll work on it.
renewal is to find out if they've made any changes to the property, so that can be brought up to date.
Okay, so that'll be something for us, to work on then with regards to getting this together for another resolution. I mean, one resolution, I think that's a good idea. Okay, let's move on to,
Diana?
one more question, I'm sorry, Deb.
I just want to point out that we had this discussion before, and the problem with allowing the special use grant to stay in effect is that you have to have the merchant certificate in the name of the property owner to get the special use.
But, okay, and this is, I was on the BZA and all we did was adapt. We took everything that was in the ordinance and added to what the BZA did, so it's on the list. And it is a requirement, you are correct. But the discussion that we had via email was that once the property is approved, without further modification to the property, it stayed approved. But, I just wanted to get this on the table so that we.
Okay, well, this might be a workshop kind of an issue to sit down and work on it together to get it done, right?
All you have to do, if that stays with property, all you have to do is, it's being transferred, put that in your resolution that they have to have a certificate, merchant certificate in the new owner's name.
Okay.
They didn't really have to have it for the property, but that's what the ordinance said.
So, okay,
To get
so
the special use.
what I'll do is I'm gonna make notes on this.
Very good.
And I'm gonna bounce them off with Mike. We'll bounce them back and forth. And we're comfortable with the language, we'll probably include Deb. Then we'll turn them into a resolution.
Very good, sounds really good, okay. Ralph's job. Okay. Okay. Sounds good, thank you. All right, so let's move. Any other comments on that? We're good? Okay, so outdoor message boards, so what we need to do is address this, this issue. We discussed it and we decided back in late winter, early spring or whatever of this year that we were going to purchase several of these message boards. But I understood from the email that you had sent out to us, John, that none have been ordered at all yet.
We
And then-
started out with 2, and that went on for several months. Then we decided that it would be 3.
Well, no, we only said the 2 because you said the third one here was still good.
Right.
Okay, is what it was.
And then this one, by the time I got to checking it out, nobody else checked it out. So
Well, none of us has keys to check it out, so.
all you
Anyway.
have to do is come into the office.
Okay, all right,
Give me
okay,
that.
John, all right.
I got a ton of keys.
Okay, well, okay, John, forget that part, okay.
But the whole thing is, I could not get a key to fit that.
Okay.
It looks like it would be real nice if we could get that open, because I looked at it today, and it is a nice, it's
Okay.
nice, it blends in with the brown, the
Yeah.
building and everything. if we could get that, okay, and get a new plastic insert for the.
Okay. so
Yeah, it does do it
then
in
I'm
the
gonna take-
window.
Okay,
So,
so.
it does need a window, there's no doubt.
Okay, so let's, what I'm gonna do is ask one person amongst our council members to actually handle and work on these boards issue, you know, to check it out, to see if it can be open, what needs to be done to fix this one. But besides that, there was another, you know, comment Joe had made that we should get one, you know, that we need to get 5. I think you said that we needed to have 5.
Yeah, I read someplace where it mentioned something about council.
There's absolutely, I spent hours today, literally, going on state information.
For this one, you said you wanted somebody out here. I mean, is it as easy as we have one there? Can we just order 2 more?
All we need to do is order, currently, we just need to order then the 2 more. We can always order more as we go on. I think if we decide we need more.
So let's get them ordered.
Absolutely, let us get them ordered. I would like to have, if one council member could please just make sure, you know, and check out the
Make
thing
sure
out
that
there.
beat me up, so I
No,
get it
I
done.
want you to beat up. I want someone to come help you unlock that thing then, okay? So if I have a volunteer for one person in the town council to do that, that would be very good. And then we order the 2, we need to also order the Welcome to Michiana that we'll use closer to the beach. With regards to having more, the only time we ever discussed or maybe thought was when we had 5 districts. We no longer have 5 districts. We are one big group now. So we no longer need, you know, boards all over the place. So however, you know, that's it.
Bottom line is we're ordering 2 additional, because this one we just need to
It
looks like it could be.
fix it up
Yeah,
and then get
okay.
keys. So
Yes,
we're
okay.
okay with ordering 2. You got your marching orders ordered 2, right?
Yep, okay, any
And
questions?
the welcome Michiana, and we're going to get a resolution so that we can get that
We're gonna put that together from the ARP
for
fund.
next month.
Okay,
I won't order till I get a resolution, I'm sorry. Because I want that stating also, they're being ordered for, because of the AARP, with AARP funds, and it does relate to COVID.
well, this is with the recovery, yes, okay, which is why we're keeping it, so everybody can stay nice and safe. Yes, we'll put it together. We both, Joan and I participated in a webinar together with Baker Tilly and others with regards to what we need to do when we do this. So we do have to justify our needs. So we have to put that together. But we can vote today that we are going to be ordering 2 signs. We don't need to wait for that kind of thing.
And the welcome sign.
And the welcome sign, yes. And then if we need anything else in the future, we can always add something else going forward. Okay, so do I have a volunteer who would like to just supervise working on that particular thing? Don't all jump at once now.
I'll volunteer.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael.
And just to be clear, 2 new boards.
Yes,
What we're ordering.
yes,
That's it.
2 new boards, yes,
Fixing this one or.
exactly, yes. And then we'll add a welcome to Michiana on top of the other board, okay? All right, thank you very much. Cool, let's move on, let's vote, okay? So we need a motion to purchase the 2 boards.
I'll make that
All
one.
right, Ralph moves.
I'll second.
Okay, Michael Martinez seconds to purchase 2 boards, okay? And to, you know, repair this other board here, to purchase 2 boards. Okay, thank you very much. And we'll move forward from that. Now, I also spent quite a bit of time moving on to the next section, the codification of town ordinances. And I've sent out some requests for information from various companies that do this, including American Legal, including Civic Plus that does it. They're actually website guys, but they also work with Indiana towns to do various different things. To do, for us, it would be considered a recodification because we had add new ordinances to the existing old ones and whatever, but to work on doing this. So I don't mind, you know, continuing working on this, and I can take that on myself, but I wanted everybody to know that, you know, that this is something that I want us to work forward on also to make sure that we've got a good document that's good for everybody to look at. Okay, so I'm moving us along now to 8E, which is Appointments to the Advisory Plan Commission. We got two people who we've been notified that would be interested in it. I've spoken with them, but I don't want to make any kind of appointments yet today on this. What I would like to do is make sure that we hear from the several others that we already said we would try to reach out to and talk to. You know, like the Zeckels and Chris Wolf and perhaps maybe some others to see, you know, who all would actually be willing to do it and then pick the best out of the bunch.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. One of the things that I thought of this morning was, one of the candidates, I don't know at all. So what would be our approach to that? I mean, do we individually contact them and discuss it? Do we have them come to a meeting and,
I don't,
I
the
don't know.
meeting is, that's almost like a hiring thing, and you.
But you guys all knew me when you
Yeah.
put me on the plan commission
Right.
2 years ago.
Okay,
Not many people do that, that volunteer.
Well, two today, there's a couple of others I'm gonna talk to. and
yes, and yeah, so that there's like, about 4 more that we'd like to have conversations with, before we do it, okay? And they seem sort of like maybe interested in working on something. So, let's just get those in, and I don't think we need to do it in a public setting. I think if we just talk to them.
I agree. I just-
Because I know the cycles I only know from seeing, but I mean, talk to them, and that's as much as you saw.
Okay.
Chris Wolf, I think, we can ask Chris to see if maybe he'd be interested in it. I don't know if he is or not, but he's another one, and.
Well, I've just been gone, but
And
I
then,
talked to
Chuck
these
Rice
guys
was another one
across the
who
way.
was highly recommended we try, just try with Chuck Rice as well, so.
Okay.
Just check with him, so I know him, I know Chris, I could talk to them, because they were suggested, so. Okay, all right, very good. So we move on from that one to, new business, we did, A, which was the permit, and now pursuing the Gravelny stair and deck removal and the banks removal of the structure for the carport and non-permitted fence. Now, Laura, are you still on?
Yes, she is.
Yes, where would I go?
While you were having problems with the internet earlier, I thought you might have just disappeared.
Yeah, understood, Dinah, I get it. Thank you.
Okay, all right, so now Deb's here too, so, where are we at with regards to doing something about actually getting the stairs and the deck removed, and then having Banks remove the structure and his non-permitted, fence. We did bring this up at the last month's meeting, that, that these things are unsightly and unsafe, especially with regards to Gravelny stairs, because I don't care what kind of a fence he has up there, people don't pay attention to fences and signs and stuff and do whatever they want, or they could get hurt, So anyway, so what do we do next?
So I could give you a little update.
Oh, very good.
So I
Please.
issued a staff work order, which did not stop him from working on it.
This is Gravelny.
Okay. And he was aware, he knew about the staff work order and continued to work on it. And then I issued a citation, but I don't have confirmation that they received that, because the only address I have for them is the local address, so I sent it there certified and not received as received. And I delivered one to that address too, and I called several times and they've not responded. Okay, that's all I know.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, you heard that, Laura?
I did hear that. So when were the citations issued?
October 17th.
October 17th.
17, okay. All right, so, but you sent them certified, and did I hear you correctly, you also delivered them?
Yeah, that's correct. But I don't
Okay.
have the verification of notice. But they do know that they have a stop work order. I have like his text confirmation to me that he has it. And that was-
Okay, so that was 3 weeks ago then.
That was the citation, right, but the staff work order was much longer ago.
Yeah, I recall that. Okay, good. All right, well, Dinah, if you do want to proceed to move forward with this, you'll have to vote to move forward on it, and then we can, progress accordingly.
Okay.
But that's up to the town council.
Council members, your thoughts?
Make a motion to pursue
I'll second that motion.
All right, so we have a motion to pursue the Gravelny stair and deck removal, and we have a second, so Michael Martinez moved, Ralph Fox seconded. To proceed, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
it.
Aye.
Aye, okay, the ayes have it, so 5 have voted to proceed with this process. Let's move on to the banks issue.
Make the motion.
Yes, Michael Martinez moved and Ralph Box seconded. Okay,
So as to Mr. Banks,
Yes.
he is aware that he also issued a stop work order on the fence, because he was putting it up without knowing. And so the carport had kind of precedes all that, and it's been, at the BZA, he's been went there a couple of times, and he did not get a final resolution, and that's pending, and he expects to go back. And the last time I spoke to him about the fence, taking the fence down, he said his plan is to get another contractor, he lost his last contractor, and to petition the BZA for a variance so that he can put up his fence, which exceeds the height limitation in the ordinance.
okay, and what kind of a fence was it? I understood that it was not an approved fence in general.
So, yeah, he put up something that he said was temporary, but it never came down. And it was, intended to keep it installed, but it was much higher than it allowed.
But what about the materials? Because like we don't allow razor wires, we don't allow chain link fences. What was it made of,
So the one that's up there now, which he says is temporary, is a square steel grid style. He also, I've seen out there that it has some panels that are black, kind of wrought iron looking, probably not really wrought iron, but panels that are pretty wide, also too tall, for the, so.
Okay, so now there's two issues at his place. So now he has been issued a stop work order from the fence, and you have spoken to him about taking it down. So ultimately, he said he's gonna get another worker to come and do what to take it down, or to what? I didn't
He
understand.
said he would take it down, when he came back to it down, was inspected. And he said that he was going to go to the BZA to get a variance so that he could install these
Okay.
permanent black.
All right, so he is not taking it down yet, and he has not appeared before the BZA.
How long ago was that conversation?
That was a few weeks ago.
Did she say 2 weeks ago?
Only 2 weeks ago?
Few.
Probably more than 2 weeks, like 3 weeks to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's.
Okay, thank you.
It's been up there for months,
Right.
years.
the carport has been on for years,
Right.
not just a year or more.
Then, yeah, that one's really like in purview of the BZA still, because they've had problems making a decision because they didn't have enough members of the BZA to get a good majority decision on it. And
All
so
I know is if I was next door, that'd be good, so.
Yeah,
it is.
look, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we do now? So what is the thought
I'll
process?
make a motion to pursue, the carport and the non-permitted fence. It sounds like you've tried to make contact, made every attempt possible, with the resident. Still nothing. 3 to 4
And he's
weeks
just
is a long
gonna
time.
take his time,
Oh, he is.
basically.
He'll take his time.
I mean, he's spent a year thinking around with the BZA.
So I'll make the
Yep.
motion.
Okay, all right, Michael Martinez moves to move forward with the banks with regards to the removal of the bank's fence and carport structure, right?
Yep.
I'll second that.
Okay, Ralph Box seconds. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Okay, so the ayes have it, and we will move forward with some kind of proceedings with regards to getting these things removed from those properties. Okay, thank you very much. Is that, we can discuss, if there are any other kind of questions, Laura, we could probably talk.
Perfect, yes, just get me all the paperwork, Deb, whatever citations have been issued, the stop work orders, and then we can talk through the next steps. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so the next point that I have listed here is the Community Crossings Grant, the PACER report. Now, is there a need for the expense of a new report? Because I thought the plan was supposed to be for a 5-year plan. And you sent Joan some information about the, if Doyle would do another one, it would cost $7,000 to $8,000 right now. So if the report is supposed to be for, a longer period of time, it's probably still a good report, because I don't know how much work would they've done.
If I could interject something here,
Yes,
the It was done, we paid John Doyle $10,000 in 2018 to do this survey that is for 5 years. It's good until 2023.
Okay, I was trying to do more research on the Phaser report as well, and I was, looking into the community crossings grants and so forth. The grant is due January 27th or 28th. So
I was told by Marcia, I believe her name is, that deals with it out of this district, that we had to do a new report. They want the report brought up to date. We haven't used it for 2 years. Some of the roads that's been done, not done, but some of the roads that are not in this report could go into this report that needs repair, or repaving.
There's not any new roads that went into the report.
Well, that's the whole thing. We have to have it brought up to date.
Okay, Joan, then you know what we're gonna do? We're going to get into, instead of you worrying about this, because you have all the other kind of things to do, we will, and then I'll ask again and see if maybe somebody can actually do the contacting. If nobody else does it, I will do the contacting, and we can contact both Marcia. What office is Marcia from?
I don't know.
She's in LaPorte.
Okay. All right. And we can follow up on this to make sure that we find out, because that's a big expense. And because I kept remembering that 5-year plan, that if it's done for 5 years, and if we have not actually used and done those things, because I don't know if any of those were actually repaired yet, that we.
The only ones we did were the first ones on his list.
No, there's one missing that didn't get on that list, remember?
Okay, well then that can be, but we do have a list to work from, so let's see how we can do this so that we, limit, how much money. Okay, let's try to work on that.
Hold on.
Yes,
Those folks that are online, my computer just gave me a warning. It's going to die any second, and you're just going to be gone at that point. So don't worry about it. It's not a technology issue.
yeah, and it's only miscellaneous.
Well, I hate to be talk about this report. I wasn't. I have a copy of the report. I've read the report. I understand what it's about, but I'm not sure at all as to why we have to update it, spend more money to get a consultant back in. I just need a minute of somebody to explain to me what's going on here.
Well, that's why I think that we need to.
Can we table this? I mean, we're coming up on 2 hours here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine with it.
I can't do it that late. I'm working Eastern time.
And I was doing, I was doing research on this, so I want to do some more research on it, and then I can come back and tell some more, okay? Because I was working on that earlier,
I
so.
don't think any of this other stuff is in.
Yeah, so, some of it we've already sort of covered, the A is something that's being worked on under 11A, purchase of equipment to hold hybrid meetings. And then Ralph is sort of, handling our stuff right now for that. We did get a donation from Mike, so we're good with the camera and if anything, we may need more, better speakers, but the speaker seems to be working really well here. So perhaps microphones in case we need to have microphones so people further out, we can hear them when they speak. So, but I will hold off on that as well then, right? Because we have time to make those determinations. Quick report, Gene Paxton is holding a meeting on Monday with several people who have indicated interest in the town's 75-year celebration. There was a few people that were from the park ward and boosters, and I know that Phil Bernier is on it. Sonia volunteered to be on that. I know Bob Slokowski is interested in this. Maybe, I don't know if Gary Bendix is going to be on, but this is just a skeleton group that's getting together to make the initial, to talk about things. Oh yeah, Skip Moffett and his wife were interested in it. The first one is only going to be sort of a planning, and then they're going to do a meeting to open to the public, to open everything up. They're just going to do this is a commission, just a little committee, that's beginning to be organized. They're not a formal committee yet. Then there was a Marquette Greenways development question asked about, doing the pillar, but that piece of property actually belongs to the fire department, so they have to be involved in doing that.
And I just want to go on record, I'm against moving the pillar. I think they should go around it. It's been there since the town was formed. We shouldn't move it just because they want to put a bike path. on.
Yeah, well, I don't know that they're gonna be.
But it is,
But
it
anyway.
is the fire department's.
Yeah, so it is the fire department, so that's gonna be the last time that we can actually talk about it, because it's there, under their purview. Okay, now under communications, I need to make sure that everybody knows that Sharp Friedman Associates are resigning as our attorneys because of circumstances beyond their control. You know, Laura is gonna be working only part-time, and they don't have the other personnel to do this, so we will be looking for, you know, other attorneys. I took some time to look into, you know, some of those that we had, you know, interviewed, and I've already reached out to Amy, you know, in Indiana to find out about potential recommendations from municipal attorneys. Okay, so that was, pardon?
When's it effective?
And it is the last day of this year, so we're, you know, first day of the new year. Okay, so there was a letter we all received about that. I think you got a copy of it too, John, an email? No, then I'll forward that to you. Then the last thing that I have is that I've spoken with Jeff Wright, he's a Michigan City engineer. Oh, I wrote MS instead of MC, engineer regarding the light bulb, and there was a response I got already that they have put it on the list, they're gonna replace that light. Now, all the other kind of work that we spoke about, you know, painting, you know, another line over there on the road and, you know, to, up on Old Grand Beach Road further to the east, and potentially working on the roads, depends on how much money they have and how much, you know, when they can get, if they can get their crews out there, but they do have it on their list. He's confirmed it, that they've got him on their list to do some repairs to the roads and, you know, and more safety issues over here for this corner. And then, I guess that's it for, I think that's it for him. I'm trying to, oh yeah, the water project on Hiawatha. And Portal is moving forward. They're gonna try to do something on that end that is less disruptive than pulling up the whole street. So, you know, they got it all marked out. He just, you know, had to get it pulled over. So that's it. Public comments from anybody? None? Okay, council comments.
Leaf pickup starts this Monday.
Oh, good, thank you. Ray, put that up on the board too.
Yeah, they come that, just anytime that week, or he's like picking up Monday, starting Monday, and however long it takes to get all of them.
All of the things that are out. at
The
that
good
time.
news is I'm starting to see a lot more leaves falling. Yeah, that helps, right?
Yeah.
No, some people don't know that.
Some.
Yeah, I did see
some- Yeah, and others said, oh, I'm only getting mine done by the summer, but anyway, so, okay. If there is nothing else, then I'm gonna ask for a motion to adjourn.
Okay, adjourn.
All right, thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned, it is 8:51 p.m.
We're done, folks.
Good work.
Thank you, everyone.